we take the path of getting you a little bit more riled up with Cam Neely's presser?
I mean, that was shockingly bad. It wasn't just Neely; it was all of them. Like, it was Neely, Sweeney, and Jacobs. Like, every answer was so annoying because it was like they were unbelievably defensive. Maybe said we're going to take accountability here while blaming literally every other possible person, scenario, situation. Like, Jacobs was shocked that like Kevin Paul DuPont asked him about ticket prices and why he to justify raising the prices. Like, at that point, did you really not think you were going to get that question? Or honestly, it felt like they were shocked to get any questions. Like,
did you not get our memo that went around saying we're going to kick your ass if you ask us a question?
It was legitimate. Like, some of them were so like some of the answers were so bitchy. Like, it was just like somehow the fans were more mad about the press conference than like the season in totality, because it honestly was just, like, from start to finish, that whole presser was an absolute shit show where it was like they were like, the fact that they were getting mad at people for asking them like the most obvious questions, like they were getting mad about getting asked about the drafts in the past. They were disgusted that like one of the reporters asked a good question where it was like, you guys have fired several coaches. Like, how many GMs fire this many coaches? Has anyone in your searches like expressed any concern with you? And they were like, basically like, we're the Boston Bruins, like 100 years history, had like the most wins over the last however many years, blah 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 blah. And then he's like, and if I ever, if someone next time we are on a coach search, if someone brings it up, I'll let you know. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. It was like every single question. But again, the one that really, it's always going to piss me off is the ticket prices. The fact that he was like, we have to pay our fucking like concessions people. Dude. It's like, that's what your fucking answer was? Like, you could have at least just been like, hey, we're going to make sure that, yeah, we don't want to raise the prices. Like, we don't want to make people pay more, but our goal is to make it like worth whatever. Like, you could have at least spun it like, hey, we're going to make that like whatever it is, whatever the like cheapest ticket is, we're going to make it worth the trip. Because it's like, if you're this dog shit again, no one's going to want to like put down $500, $600, $700 to go to take like a family of 4 or 5 to a fucking hockey game to watch them get their ass whooped. Like, no.
There's also part of me, just given the market, and like you said, like, they do have a track record and a history just of, whatever they want to call sustained success, whatever. But you've got the fan base in place, and with all of their demeanor, just come in and be assholes instead of like cowering behind it and getting mad and offended and butthurt. Be like, yeah, we're raising the prices because every team raises prices, and we know that you guys are going to keep coming. So, okay. Well, it's like basically going at the draft question too, right? Like, oh, so how about those 3 picks in a row? Like, yeah, how about when we got McAvoy at the end of the first? How about when we got Pasternak at the end of the first? Let's just agree to disagree here. Like, I think fans would respect that way more than they're like backing away and being like offended that you would even ask these questions. Like, just be dicks.
Well, even like, so specifically the draft thing, for me, like, people do have to get over the 2015 thing. That was a whole fucked up scenario too, about how that draft went down in the first place. But at this point, it was fucking 10 years ago. Right. Like, you just like at some point, like, there were way more misses in the meantime, like, that were significantly more egregious. But like, it wasn't even that. As far as the draft question goes, it was the fact that they were like also defending it by saying, well, if you look at like all these guys, how many games have they played in the NHL? They played a lot of games. It's like, yeah, you're getting fucking players that played games. Half of them didn't play any games for you. You've given up on half of them after 1 or 2 years, or you traded a bunch of them away. But like, it was like every single question was like, did you guys just like not see any of these questions coming? Like, did you not prepare whatsoever? But yeah, at the end, fucking as the sound cut out, they're walking off, and I think it was Kevin Paul DuPont. Like, he was like wanted to talk to her or something,
But
that happens all the time. But it was just like,
I feel like that's him wanting people to
unbelievable.
see that he's calling him in. He's like, yeah, like he made a point. Like that wasn't Blackburn dropping something that no one saw. Like it was on the video.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was like him like standing up on his way out anyway. I don't know. I didn't take it as like a make sure the camera sees this. But like again, pretty much every answer was a shit show. Like it was like, this is ridiculous. But the big thing that I came away from that was like almost like the most concerning part was the fact that like Cam Neely clearly has a job for life. He will never fire Don Sweeney because they're good buddies. They have clearly indicated that they don't really want to change the way they do things. And it's like, okay, so like I do think they're a better team than what they showed this year. Like there were a lot of things that went wrong, like as far as like injuries go, whatever. But like this is how we're gonna roll, like in perpetuity. Like this is it.
Yeah. Now my question
and
to you
that's
though,
like
Steve,
that was concerning.
to that point, like, would you agree that out of the teams that like flat out bottomed out, like we'll say getting a top 10 pick in next year's draft, Boston's absolutely the best bet to be back in the playoffs out of those teams, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like this isn't a bad roster, like injuries, wild medical staff, which I'm surprised they didn't come up like 7 times in that presser, but
yeah, they could have just thrown fucking
what happened in the 2015 draft? Do you know?
I don't know, those fucking dick doctors in Minnesota.
Oh man. But yeah, it's, I don't know.
It was legitimately infuriating. Like everyone, like, did you
get the sense that Sweeney is for sure back? Like a lot of people seem to think like, oh, is he back or not?
Well, he's definitely back. Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's for sure. Like I just listen to them talk. Like it's either they have no plan or we're so just like, we're awesome. What are you guys upset about?
Boston got you a little riled. Coaching carousel. Lots of names being thrown around, not only college coaches, which we've talked about in the past, but got to continue talking about both Carl and Ferschweiler. But now we've got Joel Quinville in the mix. Now we got my boy Mike Sullivan on the market. I'm very fascinated to see how all of this plays out. And more to the point, because we've seen the shelf life of some of these coaches or lack thereof. Mateo, I need you to make note. We are absolutely, come like August or September, we have to do a full-blown like Deadpool segment that's catered towards like which coaches are going to be fired first.
Yeah. Like some of the ones this year, like some of the surprise, like how bad some of these teams were, I honestly never.
Dude, no one would have picked the Blues coach, right? No one would pick Montgomery. Like,
oh, this was such a shit show. I like, part of me keeps forgetting that Jim Montgomery got fired for the Bruins this year.
Right.
Like I keep forgetting that at this point last year it was still the Bruins. I like, if you told me, like if you would have asked, I'd be like, yeah, I got fired last year, last season, like a year and a half ago. Like, nope, it was literally like 6 months ago, not even.
And then you see what he's doing with St. Louis. It's like, wait, why would you fire that guy?
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
Let's start with probably the most polarizing one being Joel Quinville back in the circuit, and sounds like the front runner if you think that John Buccigross is in the know. Going the Anaheim Ducks. That is, for me, the weirdest marriage of vacant coaching spots and coach looking for work. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of teams that would like to take a swing at Quinville. Maybe don't want the PR hit. I'm already annoyed by how the PR's already started. Now it's going. I mean, rightly so. Like he fucked up. I don't even know what the right answer is as far as like you just never coach again. I have no idea. I don't. I'm not gonna really go out on a limb either way. Either way, it's gonna be a shit show. If you're ready for the PR hit, I guess whatever. But like again, to me, it was more
PR, so that does match.
Yeah, it was just like more annoying to the point because I was really talking to myself into like David Carl potentially going there because I just do think it would have been a really fun and good fit And
I think that one would have made a
perfect
lot
environment.
of sense.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. And again, like, so of course now with the Quinville thing, there's going to be the massive PR situation, whatever. Again, he hasn't coached in forever, so that also is just like, why do this? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me on any level. I think there are plenty of other coaches that they could have obviously take a swing on. But again, I think most of this is coming back to just be like, I'm very annoyed that it's not going to be Carl. Like,
Yeah.
if this is if it's true, whatever. But it is one that's just like out of nowhere. Probably didn't like you probably could have found. I think they're better options and better fits than Joel Quinville.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he needs to go to a team that's ready to win, and they're not there.
No.
And adding him isn't going to just magically flip that switch. Where do you think that I've got David Carl landing?
In New York?
You know, I wouldn't be all that upset because that means that Mike Sullivan's not going there.
True.
But no, Pittsburgh Penguins.
I was half considering gonna just say Pittsburgh.
So you got all of the money that group has. Shout out Fenway Sports Group. Is that weird for Boston fans that like they own the Penguins and the Red Sox? Like, is that at all a conflict?
The weirdest part for me is whenever I turn a Penguins game on, it's the Nesson scoreboard, the game display. It's the same exact. So it really it's like Pittsburgh versus Detroit, and I'm like, and why is that the way that scoreboard? That's not right. Let's get rid of that. Stop it.
But think about it, man. Like they just gave a mega deal to Kyle Dubas, right? This is a long-term plan. We are not like. We know this is going to take a minute to get everything sorted out. Why wouldn't they do the same thing with a coach? Overpay him, give him ridiculous term that makes it comfortable for him to go. He gets to go in and partially learn from guys like Sidney Crosby, right?
Literally.
Pretty easy way to step into the league. And then you get to be there for that transition and actually bringing in the right players, being part of that conversation with Dubas, and knowing that you have the security to be there long term, because for him, the biggest thing is young family. He doesn't want to go somewhere and get canned in a year and a half. Going to Pittsburgh is like the safe move, knowing that he's kind of married to Dubas in that. I still don't know if he gets on board with it, but if the money and term is there, like why wouldn't you consider it? Otherwise, I have no idea what direction Pittsburgh's going to go. I'm very sad Mike Sullivan's gone, but it absolutely it makes sense for both sides. Like, eventually, any voice is going to run stale in any locker room unless you're, an ex-lawyer. But I feel like Sullivan landing anywhere that's not Philadelphia or New York, I will be very okay. No, Chicago too. That would hurt me, but I don't think he would do that.
Also, shout out David Carl for saying no to Chicago.
Shout out David Carl for saying no to Chicago.
Such a beauty. Beautiful
bastard. I like how Ferschweiler has just been tucked under the rug in all of this too. I feel like that's mostly though. Tell me what you think. If Rick Tocchet signs to stay in Vancouver, Ferschweiler to Philadelphia is done. Mm-hmm. But they're waiting to see if they can get Tocchet because that's absolutely who they want. Mm-hmm. Which crazy talk. I don't know, dude. I was listening to What Chaos for a little bit earlier today, and they were talking about the Quinville stuff. And they're like, what about a team like Vancouver if Quinville or if Tocchet doesn't stay there? And it's like the last market that could handle him coming in. Like, dude, ask Isha. The amount of keyboard warriors out there, social justice people, like they would burn the city to the ground just off of rumors of Joel Quinville going there. It would never work. It could not. And you know what? God bless you, Jim Rutherford, if you're willing to go that route. That would be very funny to me. I'm convinced at this point in his career, I don't know if he's a secret genius with the things that he's doing to stir shit up around the Hughes brothers, or if he literally is these are the signs of dementia. I don't know. But I'm really curious to see what he's going to pull out this summer in general.
Yeah, no, I might have to like subscribe to like every Vancouver beat writer, their fucking Twitter account. It just like watch the chaos ensue. I mean, he clearly doesn't give a fuck. He's down with tampering openly. The fact that he also ended that quote with like, that might be tampering though. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
And what are you doing?
Cosgrove, I knew. I'm actually disappointed you didn't comment this sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that he ended it, too, that Allvin is just sitting there. He's like, please don't say the T word. Please don't say the T word. He's like, oh, I don't know. It might be tampering. Sorry. Like, God damn it, Jim.
Well, the camera also slowly panned out. And like, then like as Allvin came into frame, he was like, he like literally looked like he was about to explode. And then he started laughing. He was like, Jesus fucking
I'm actually upset, disappointed, offended that there wasn't someone at that press availability that had the ISO cam on Allvin as that was being done, that they could post to be like, by the way, guys, this is the expressions that we saw on Allvin's face across that entire topic.
It's like
numbers.
The only takeaway you can have from like the camera slowly panning out to Allvin is they probably talked about this 5 minutes before the presser started. Do not bring this up. 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 Brings it up unprompted.
Yep, it's good. But I don't know. Do you have any like strong opinions on where any of these coaches are going to end up?
I can't help but have a pretty like. I think the two that I'm like not necessarily like super confident, but like more than the others is like at least the possibility of David Carl going to New York, but like Sullivan back to Boston to me, like son-in-law is here, which is also very funny, but like also made it a point during the Four Nations tournament to like bring up how much he loved, like he's from here, so I'm just going to say this in general, but like there were a few answers from like the Four Nations pressers where like he was going on and on about like coaching in Boston and like how much he loves the city, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, again, like he was here way back, so it'd be fascinating to see him come back almost like 20 years later.
He's a Boston guy, in fairness. Now,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Joe. By the way, everyone, Fellowship of the Rink already out, full mailbag episode. Do you feel like it's 0% at this point, or is there a chance, let's say the Wild lose the next 2 games, doesn't look pretty, whatever. Is there a world where Guerin does replace Hynes with Sullivan, much like the Blues did? Again, different scenario, but still same idea. Like, holy shit, you just hired this guy and you're going to let him go? Well, yeah, because there's a better coach out there.
Right.
Because this is his chance. Like if Guerin's vision, because I always thought Sullivan would last another year at least before this happened. I really thought the plan was I just need to stall until Sully's available. Like that always felt real, even before all the Team USA stuff here for Four Nations.
I don't know. I mean, it still does feel drastically different than like the St. Louis situation with Montgomery and everything.
Fair.
But
it's also,
I mean,
similar.
I'm sure it's like, I mean, he's also like Guerin is not afraid to do things like this in the first place, but like, I don't know. I would be surprised, very surprised to be honest. But since it's Mike Sullivan, since there is that connection going back a long time, like I would say there's the chance is greater than 0%. But I would be very surprised. I would be regardless, unless like the next 2 games are a complete and utter shit show and everything goes wrong and like
no chance that happens.
No, like to like beyond what
I
we could even imagine. I would be shocked if like they fired him this summer, anyways.
Like imagine taking a guy who's like a top 3 goal scorer for you and burying him on the 4th line.
We'll get there.
You wouldn't do something that dumb, but
no, I would never do that.